you archaeologists. Welcome to the proximity. I'm having a Resident Evil Gold Edition 5 adventure. And, oh, nope, I'm apparently... One more time. Hello, lurkers, and hello, all you archaeologists. Welcome to the proximity. I'm the Johnstruct. I'm having a Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition adventure. That is to say, we are going to... Gold Edition. That is to say, we're going to be playing the first DLC today. Lost in Nightmares, I believe it's called. So I had to buy the Gold Edition to get the DLC, I think, or at least to get the DLC for cheap. Otherwise, I would have been a lot more expensive. But yeah, I managed to get it like a couple of days after I completed it. Capcom games are constantly on sale. They are... I know they're not the longest games in the world, but also I think a lot of games are just too long. I think this game might be a bit too long, to be honest. I'm experiencing a little bit of slowdown on my computer, to the point I'm trying to turn that off, which, there we go, but there was a little bit of a delay there. It's because I was downloading. Now occasionally, for some reason, downloading just, it gets real intense on my computer. I believe it is in extra content. I've never ever used Mercenaries. I guess I did play around with it, but... Lost in Nightmares. There we go. So yeah, recently I think I've been playing quite a lot of Resident Evil. Most of the others I'd been playing specifically through a thing I call the Fights and Frights playlist. You can see Resident Evil OG up there. That's not OG, that's the remaster, of course. And I actually did cheekily play that for the 1996 edition. I played 1996 as Chris in the during the pandemic, and I made liberal use of save scumming, I won't lie. But when I decided I wanted to like start streaming, this was one of my ideas, I think like a year in. And you can see I played Resident Evil 1, 2. I did try out 0. I got to the first boss and just didn't fucking like that game. That takes a lot of patience. I did play Nemesis. It comes out the same year as something else, so I played it off in the same way. All these. The reason why it's taken me so long is because I've been waiting for the correct years to appear, and now they've sort of all started to cluster up. We're gonna have to go back to Revelations. Because I had to buy it. Didn't realise the game was locked behind DLC. That's very cheeky, but again, I got the DLC for really cheap. So, but like recently, I've gone back. I finished Separate Ways with Ada Wong, and I've recently finished Resident Evil 5. I've done the Resident Evil 6 Jake and Sherry campaign, and I've decided. Oh, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and finish some stuff. Take a little bit of break from Resident Evil 6. So let's go back to. There's nothing like a bit of 6 to make you appreciate Resident Evil 5. And of course, we get to play as Jill before she got turned into a weird goblin lady. We are going to be playing single player. What is co-op play offline? Oh, what? Split screen. The Noah Gervais review, because I rewatched parts of it. I watched it all once, and then every time I complete a game, I watch the relevant parts again. I watch it from the start to the relevant sections again. I work in an office, so like I just need stuff on the screen constantly to keep my brain amused while I do menial tasks. But one of the things he says is just grab somebody, grab anybody, don't play a solo. Fair enough, because fucking bits of 5 were rough. When Sheva was just fucking refusing to use the shotgun for some reason and standing next to you when she should be over there. We got through it though, even though one of the bosses were bugged. But like, 6 hasn't been as fucking buggy, but 6 is really fucking poorly made in terms of just choices. Like, 4. Resident Evil 4 did a really good job of like when it placed random items. Like you were never comfortable, but you never just in 6 I've just never fucking have anything. Like in 5 it's a bit too generous because there's just not a lot of room in your backpack and you can just buy stuff constantly. Let's see. Well, this is like a play normal, whatever. I don't know how long these are, so we might play more than one.
A few years ago, the BSAA received intel as to the whereabouts of Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer. Jill and I were ordered by the BSAA's European headquarters to apprehend him. We accepted that mission in the hopes of uncovering some info that would lead us to Wesker. Chris to HQ, come in. We're at the target's location.
Copy that, Chris. Move in and procure the target.
Roger that.
What can you tell us about the area?
She's the master of unlocking.
Satellite scan isn't showing anything out of the ordinary, but regardless, you should expect the unexpected.
Understood.
How does one do that?
We're in.
Let's move.
I think he mentions it in his review because I do remember parts. I'll go over here now. Like we appear to be in. Like I knew it was going to be a copy of the Spence Mansion. I think. And they've already done that. They did that at the end of Code Veronica. I hope this isn't Chris's blood. I don't mind it. It really, we can turn the camera in this version, so it does look different.
What is
Nice.
it with this guy and cranks?
He's a man of refined tastes.
He's obsessed. That's what he is.
It's a nice bit of old crank. This would have got me. I'm enjoying this already. You can very easily impress me by just making me go to the Spencer Mansion again. And I didn't even... I was going to say I didn't play this in my childhood. I played a little bit of Resident Evil in my childhood, but not a lot. Actually, I suppose... I've said the story before, but I'll say it again. I grew up with a PC and I didn't have a 3D card because those were invented while I was growing up. And like, you needed a Voodoo if you wanted to play, funnily enough, a zombie game. But so I couldn't play Resident Evil. I could read the reviews in the PC Zone or PC Gamer, but
Eagle 6 to Nest. Do you read?
We read you, Eagle 6. Go ahead.
We found some men down. Judging by their wounds, it looks like they were physically assaulted. I figure they're probably Spencer's security. Lord only knows what killed them.
Roger that. We knew this mission wouldn't be a cakewalk. Use extreme caution.
that's the most amount of caution. Yeah, so instead I had to play through all the sound files because I wanted to get some of the demo, and I just had to imagine what the game was like. Eventually I did have a friend with a PlayStation and my brother tried to get me to play his version, but so I saw bits and pieces of it, but I didn't really play it as an adult. Like when Village got really big, no, when 7 got really big, I was like, you know what, I want to play through all the games at some point, and then I wasn't going to because Noah Gervais did a fucking massive recording of them all, and then I decided, yeah, you know what, fuck it, Fights and Fights playlist. Here we are. Which for going this way? It's nice seeing them work together. Oh, Jill, there's going to be a...
I'm in a dining room. Well, looky here. I found a weapon I can use. Kinda takes you back, doesn't it?
To Raccoon City? Unfortunately, yeah. That's where all this started.
Hard to believe that was 8 years ago. Guess I am getting older.
You're not the only one.
It's sort of ironic because she's not getting older.
I got the door open.
It was always burning since the world's been turning. Okay, so it's not exactly the same. Patrick's memoirs. Oh, you know what? I should say. At a certain point, they were like, "Oh, Marcus," and I was like, "Who the fuck is Marcus? Who's Miguel? Who's like?" The reason I don't know the names is because I didn't fucking play through Resident Evil 0. Marcus is another scientist who invented all the viruses from 0. It's just like all media to do with of Resident Evil is canon. In some ways, it's more confusing than Kingdom Hearts. But because all the important stuff's in these documents. For a time, it appears as if like random games that nobody's fucking played has like important information. It appeared as if Master Spencer would recover from his former health, but fate was not so kind. And now he confines himself to his study for days on end. It's been ages since I've seen him take his meals in the dining hall. I've endeavoured to prepare meals to his liking, and I bring them every day to the study. Unfortunately, he lacks the strength to eat anything but soup and other liquids. Liquid. I cannot recall a time in history of this household when this situation was dire as it is now. Generations past, the Spencer estate was the nexus for only the most well-to-do Europeans socialites. Now only a skeleton staff remains to look after a man who keeps himself in virtual seclusion at one of his many residences. My family's been in the Spencer household service since the time of his great-grandfather. This rapid state of decline would have been unimaginable even just one generation prior. I remember fondly the days of my youth, but that seems like a lifetime ago. It was about 50 years ago, back when my father was the head of the butler of the household. At the time I was learning his duties in preparation to succeed him. There was always some chore or errand that would keep me running around the house. I remember how Lord Ashford, another aristocrat from the storied family, one of Master Spencer's schoolmates, Dr. Marcus, there you fucking go, Dr. Marcus, would find refuge from the summer heat in this villa. I don't like that, like, there's like 4 different dynasties of virus makers, and it's all been going on for 100 years. It's, My father and I would accompany them. Like, does Spencer first turn up in this game? Because I know it's the Spencer mansion, but I don't actually remember there being a Spencer in Resident Evil 1. My father and I would accompany them to our utmost to see if what they wanted for nothing. Perhaps because I was the youngest person there, they would take to teasing me. Though more often than not, they would treat me as if I was one of them. I remember the time Lord Ashford gave me my first taste of brandy. It was on the second floor of the dining hall, behind the stone statues lining the room. I'll never forget the mellifluous fucking... Is that word what you mean? I can't find my phone, so I can't check. Mellifluous scent when he opened the bottle, but those cherished times are only memories now. Lord Ashford, Dr. Marcus, and of course my father all passed on. Only Master Spencer remains, and I'm afraid that his days may be few. When Master Spencer dies, it will mark the end of his illustrious family, as well as my family's service to his. For now, I can only wait for the inevitable. And no, I'll never watch the crappy films. I've seen the first one. That's enough. There's a note stuck between the last few pages. Although I feel like they're making a new one, aren't they? And it's like a good director. Alright, well, I hope I don't have to actually type that password in. Also, it's sort of a remix. I mean, that room was facing the wrong way. It says Piano Sonata number 14.
Jill.
Roger.
I'm not called Roger. It's fucking always Moonlight Sonata. It was in the original game, so it wasn't going to be a different song, to be fair. I'm trying to remember. There's a YouTube program called A Ninja Bridged, which I would have Naruto monologue. No, it would have Sasuke monologue about how pretty he was and how lonely he made him. I cannot stop thinking about the screams of those poor souls imprisoned in the basement. I administered the virus to all of them, as per Master Spencer's instructions 1 week ago. Whatever they've become now, they are no longer human. I have assisted with multiple experiments at Master Spencer's behest. I do not know what use a simple butler, not schooled in the sciences such as myself, can be, but I should be proud that Master trusts me with his important work. He usually has nothing but contempt for the distrust for those around him. However, I cannot help but feel a disconnect on how I think I should feel about my actual mental state. On the one hand, I am filled with joy at the chance to assist the Master. I'm glad my tongue's healed. In any way I can. On the other, I feel as if I am losing a bit of my soul for each experiment I assist with. The only way I can preserve my mental faculties is by taking time off, by trying to divorce myself from all emotion. Whichever the case, I must act and not question the Master. Duty and honour, that is what's at stake. Generations my family has been loyal service to the Spencer household. I will not betray my duties, and I will serve Master Spencer until the end. I decided that my life serving him, and there is no turning back my back on that. It is time to check on the test subjects and report on their current condition to Master Spencer. I'll carry on my duties, and I will do so honourably. You know what? There's a game here. Koldelka. Do you know what stands out about that game? Thinking about about it. One, it's set in a monastery, which somehow none of these games ever covered, or if they did briefly. And two, it's just one horrible like there's like 3 events in that game, fair enough, but like there's only one insane rich guy who's orchestrated everything, not like 4 of them. How did Jill get downstairs from here? Or did she just unlock the door? How did she get in? You know what? Don't think I didn't notice what they're doing with the doors there. Dogs? I hear the dog. That's a bat. That's not a dog. Batty, batty, batty. She's the master of unlocking.
Okay, it's open.
Spencer's memories. I, Oswald E. Spencer, founder of Umbrella, as well as its chief executive officer, hereby proclaim myself as the ruler of all mankind. Everyone shall prostrate themselves before me, as they once did for the ancient false gods. At least that's what my destiny should have been. But I did not become a god. I could not sever my ties to my own weak humanity. Instead, my body has been destroyed by this damn disease, the disease of age. It has carved wrinkles on my face like a well-weathered canyon. And my arms are like that of thin, withered branches of a dying tree. Age has deprived me of the use of my legs. The only chance I'll get is becoming a god, shaping humanity's destiny. Stop this disease from continuing to ravage my body. Maybe you should have focused your scientific inquiries in that direction then, rather than making weird monster men. I believe there's a saying about realizing the joys of life when one is at death's doorstep. Sayings like that are for the weak and who are going to die. They attempt to mask their fears with pithy aphorisms. Mortals can't comprehend what life means for those whose death is not a concern. The ignorant are fond of making generalizations, include those who would not be party to their pedantic musings. There's a YouTube video. I love those YouTube videos. It's the guy who makes the cartoons. He uses the stop motion video tech. I forget his name. It's good, but one of them is it's just Spider-Man. It's a bit in Spider-Man, Raimi's Spider-Man, I think it is, when he's fighting Green Goblin. And a New Yorker, throws like a can at him, and he's like, "You're fighting Spider-Man. You're fighting all of us," which is a thing that happens in the film. And then somebody sidles along and it's like, "Not me though," and the other guy's like, "What? I don't really know the context of this situation." It's like he's a villain. He's fighting Spider-Man. He's fighting all of us. It's like, I don't know that he's a villain. Like, that's the joke. Like, to be fair, the joke was that, and then it carries on for 2 minutes. But like, there's jokes along the way. It's a good video. I like it. It's just a joke about, like, for some reason, a bunch of New Yorkers are like all in on this situation. And they do it in a couple of Spider-Man films. I think it's done best in that situation. It's fucking ludicrous in the first redoing of Spider-Man. I fucking forget who directed those ones. I think he might be called Mark Webb actually. But the ones where they move all the cranes, and I get it. New York is like part of Spider-Man's identity, but that's cheesy as fuck. And Sam Raimi is better at doing cheese than other directors. Anyway, that guy didn't appreciate being included in that pithy, didn't appreciate it in the same way. He was like Spencer. I will undo this unjust travesty done to me by time, and I will present myself as the perfect being that will rule over mankind. This doesn't track. Like, I don't think anyone thinks like this. I know there's that one billionaire who wants to live forever, but I don't think he wants to turn people into monsters along the way. Also, I think he's just gonna die at a normal time. I don't think he's extending his life over 100 or anything. I will give them a new set. He's the guy who like has his child's blood in him because he thinks that'll help, and just keeps taking different cocktails of drugs. There's that guy. He's kind of interesting. I feel like that's he's like somehow one of the least evil billionaires, because at least he's sort of transparently just trying to be like, well, fuck, I better keep myself alive at all costs, and he's like trying to be fit and like drugs and all that, rather than like the ones that are trying to fucking escape to Mars. I'll give them a new set of commandments to govern their life, although I will say that's frivolous spending. There's lots of porn stabbing people in the world, but whatever, they don't give a fuck about porn stabbing people, obviously. All that remains is to find the key to eternal life. It's why I like the stories to the early Resident Evils better. All it is, it's about corporate irresponsibility. Oh, did we accidentally create a zombie apocalypse? We're trying to create profit, and you know, if you can make zombies as a weapon to wipe out cities and leave the infrastructure intact, that's kind of an efficient doing. You use bombs, then you don't have houses anymore. We want those houses. Zombies don't destroy houses, they just eat people. You see, you can sort of see how somebody who just like was amoral might consider that an acceptable weapon. I understand the ethics of using zombies in war zones. I don't understand anyone who wants to become a god. I don't think it's a realistic goal for literally anyone to have. Unless you're like an anime character, which I suppose Wesker was by the end. No, it works better in like a Kingdom Hearts, where we're not on the planet Earth, you know? I don't know where the fuck we are in Kingdom Hearts. The virus manufactured by Umbrella is the key. It suppresses telomere shortenings, which negates the function that limits cell division. I feel like I read recently, like the oldest living person. So what telomeres are like the things at the end of DNA strands, and people like the idea was over time they break and you get new telomeres, but it's shortening, and it's like that's why we get old. That's a real fucking simple version of that, like also fighting gravity and sun radiation and stuff like that. But like our cells can get worse and worse and worse at regenerating. That's why you wrinkle, right? Because it's not doing its job anymore. But like all fucking biology, there is no metaphor that will adequately explain like the fucking because it's like cellular biology. It's like the heart being a pump is like the simplest, but we're not at that level. We're far deeper than that. But like I feel like they said something about the old person and how telomeres were like doing the opposite. I don't know what it was, but like it was counterintuitive is the point, as a lot of science is, which is a shame, because you get, whenever you hear like people who really hate vaccines, one of the things that enables the people who deny science to do so is because a lot of science is just unintuitive. There's this idea that there could be oh, I've learned the secret to life, the universe, and everything, and it fits on a pithy. It could fit on a t-shirt. That is never going to fucking happen. Like, no. But I like why I understand why people want, like, people really like E equals MC squared. Ah, what an elegant mathematical, like, phrase to explain that thing, or even just the theory of gravity, right? Which I know some people don't, flat earthers technically don't believe, even though Newton's laws are incredibly robust, and can be used to predict shit way out in space, and it provably has done. Like, those are actually really elegant answers to things. But funnily enough, Newton's a really good example because Newton's into, like, nonsense alchemy as well. And once you, like, and none of the stuff, like, once you get there, it gets into the sort of romantic realm, where you're like, well, gold should be able to do this because it's beautiful, and I want to do that. Anyway, science is rarely, but sometimes is elegant and beautiful, and it can be in its own way, but not in a way that's ever fucking going to be intuitive to everyone. If the process could be perfected, then the key would be mine. Sorry, that rant went on complete sidebar there. I have means available to me. I can realise my ambitions thanks to Alex. I lost so much human capital following Umbrella's bankruptcy. I still have Alex, and the best and brightest of them all. The last of my children. I faith that if anyone can find a cure for the ailment of time that keeps me from assuming my role at the head of mankind, it is Alex. Alex will find a way. Oh, well. Alright, so I'm assuming, because they would have started making this before they finished Resident Evil 5, right? Because the way you make games is if you're not using a team for one thing, you're using that team for another thing. So, like the art department or the level design department, they're all. My point is, this wasn't made from a backlash. This was they had planned this in advance. Nevertheless, it feels like an apology for some of the rest of the game. I can't remember which direction we came from now. Ah, there's the bat.
You grab it.
Okay.
Sensitive paper.
You grab it.
Roger.
How many pictures of himself does he need? Looks like pages from diary. Some entries are missing. May 9, 1998. Played poker with Scott and Alias from security. Alias is that lady with the red hair, right? And Steve from research. Fucking Steve. Steve was the big winner, but I think he was cheating that scumbag. Fucking Steve. One of the higher-ups assigned me to take care of a new creature. It looks like a skinned gorilla to me. Scott said there'd been an accident in the basement. I just knew something like this would happen. Those bastards in research never sleep, not even on holidays. I've been wearing this damn spacesuit since yesterday. My skin's getting grimy and feels itchy all over. Rumor going around that the researcher who tried to escape the estate last night was shot. My entire body still feels hot and itchy. I'm sweating all the time now. I just scratched the swelling on my arm and a piece of rotten flesh just dropped off. What the hell's happening to me? Fever gone but itchy. Today hungry. But eat doggy food. Itchy. Tasty. Right, how do I heat? Is that the original Itchy Tasty?
You grab it.
Okay.
And never use it. Ah. Fair enough. A fire. I can't remember where the computer was now. Oh no, I had the map on earlier. I've been in Master Spencer's employ for the majority of my adult life. As of late, however, I find his actions to be inscrutable. For example, he's taken every possible precaution to conceal his whereabouts from the outside world. For what reason, I do not know. Then one day he asks me to find a certain man and make him aware of the Master's whereabouts. I do not know why he would go to such lengths to contact this man, but perhaps he wanted to see if someone could find him. The man in question was one Albert Wesker, Mr. Albert Wesker. A name I've not heard of in quite a long time. I've only met him once. That was over 10 years ago. I'm ashamed to admit that I cannot recall his face, because as head butler, my job is to remember people. But the reason I believe is because of his eyes. Those cold, unfeeling eyes completely overshadowed his other features. At any rate, I've endeavoured to get the information into Wesker's hands without letting on that it was Master Spencer's desire that he have that information. I know a certain unscrupulous individual who could put that information on the streets for the right price. He's the kind that does not care if who he talks to. What made the individual I found such importance is that he is in an employ a female spy who has regular dealings with Wesker. I paid this man, I forget if his name was Roberto or Ricardo, more than he deserved, and gave him the bare minimum for information necessary to fulfill Master Spencer's wishes. I dutifully carried out Master Spencer's directions to the letter, and at this point that situation took an even more cryptic turn. The Master, he let me go, but I do not know why. I asked him for a reason, the only time I've ever questioned him, but he responded with only silence. I do not know what to do now. I am filled with a sense of loss. Is this loss? Everything I have ever known is gone. I dedicated my entire life to serving the Spencer household, and now that book has been forcibly closed for no apparent reason. The only one who will remain will be untrustworthy security guards, people imprisoned below the premises. I truly doubt the guard's ability to attend to all of Master Spencer's needs. Could it be he plans on dying? No! He is not that type of man. He would not want to leave all his affairs in such an unfinished state. Master Spencer must have some grand machinations at work that are beyond my ability to comprehend. At any rate, I can only obey his wishes and take my leave. I will be loyal until the end, even if it breaks my heart to do so. There's another file here. It's a list of test subjects. Hans, Felicia, Marco, Jonah, Owen, Ken, and Laura. William, Derek, Miles, Alex. Number of candidates has been limited to 13 individuals listed above.